Hey, what's going on, Jedis? In this tutorial, we're going to be learning a little bit about the switch statement, which is very similar to the if-else statement. And it's actually, the switch statement was specifically designed to handle some of the if-else statements that you guys have been writing. And so what we're going to do is quickly jump into a tutorial where we're going to use our Jedi rank, and we're going to have user input in this tutorial. So we're just going to ask the user for the Jedi rank, and don't forget your ampersand, as we learned in previous tutorials. So essentially we're going to take their integer value that they're going to input, assign it to the Jedi rank, and now we get into the switch statement. So it starts out with switch, and then this is going to be, inside the parentheses is going to be where our expression is evaluated. So the expression that we're going to use is our Jedi rank in this case. Alright, then we're going to put some brackets in there, and so we've got curly brace here, curly brace there, and within it is going to be what we call cases. Alright, so we're going to simply write case, and this is going to evaluate the expression and execute program statements based on the case that you develop there. So the first one that we're going to put is simply like, case 25. I'm sorry, I put a colon instead of a semicolon. And if you return, you'll see that it already indents in for the case of 25, where this is where you'll enter some program statements. And so in this case, we'll just put like printf, what up, and semicolon at the end. Now to end this case, we have to break our loop. Now this is something new as well, because essentially we have these loops going on, and if you want to exit the loop, you use break. If you want to continue or process the loop, you'd use the continue. Alright, so in this case we're going to exit the loop once we find the case that we're looking for. So once the Jedi rank is equal to 25, it's going to print what up, and it's going to break out of this switch looping statement here. Alright, so then what we're going to do is we're going to establish another case, let's say 50, and you'll see once I put in the semicolon there, the case shoots over to where it should be, and I really screwed that one up. Alright, hit return. You see that we've got our indentation there, so in this case we'll just put like printf, hello my friends, and we'll break out of that one. Let's do a couple more cases. Case 15, 14, sure, that works. Printf, and in this case we'll go hola. I think that's about all of the languages that I know. And well, in this case, let's not break out of this one. Let's just leave it as is, and we'll end it with default. Alright, so default is similar to like the else statement and in an if-else statement. So all these cases would be like similar to ifs, and the default would be like the else. So if none of these cases executed, we would come down to the default, and we would be like, hey yo, yeah, new language. Alright, semicolon there, and don't forget to end it with a break as well. Alright, so we've wrapped up the switch statement there, basically evaluating our Jedi rank, and if it equals 25, it's going to obviously go to this. If it doesn't, it's going to move on to the next case, where it evaluates 50. If that doesn't equal the Jedi rank that we input, it'll move on to 14, so on and so forth. Once it hits one that it actually is true, it's going to do the printf statement and break out of the switch statement there. And we'll return that because I've really royally screwed that up. Alright, so that is the basics to the switch. Let's go ahead and run our program and we'll test it out here. So let's put in 25 to start. You'll see what up comes because the case is equivalent to it. It didn't go any further because we have this break statement here that breaks it out of the switch and only executes these program statements here. So let's run it again. Let's put in 50. We see that we get hello my friends, and then we get down to, let's go to 14 where we didn't put a break statement and see what happens. Whoops. go ahead and run that. So put in 14, and you see we get hola, hey yo. Alright, so that means it executed this right here, as well as this default here, which is hey yo. And that's a little bit interesting. Why did it go from here and execute this as well? And it's because we didn't execute the break statement to actually break it out of its switch. So let's go ahead and input the break, let's run it again, and let's put 14 again. You see that we just get hola now. Alright, so then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to choose a number that's outside of our case numbers here, which are 25, 50, 14. Let's go ahead and run it and put like 80 or something like that, and you'll see we get heyo. So if it doesn't equal any of the cases that we've evaluated based on our expression up here, you'll see that the default kicks in and executes our printf function there that says, hey yo, yeah, you've messed up big time, you don't even have any of the cases, so on and so forth. So that is the basics to the switch statement. We will catch you guys in the next tutorial.